Hi everyone, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping. I'd like to talk about getting prepared before it's too late and what might be coming and what we can do about what is coming. Now, the other night, I went to a anniversary party, a 60-year anniversary party, and most of the people were 60, 70, 80 years old. We had a few 30 and 40-year-olds there, but when I was there, I was talking to a few people, and I mentioned the World Economic Forum. I mentioned the Great Reset, the BRIC nations. No one really had heard of any of this, at least the people I was talking to. They were surprised at it all. So none of these people are preparing. They have no idea what might be heading our way, and I'm sure that they think the government's going to protect them. And if by some chance the government doesn't protect them, they're going to come to you and try to get you to give you your food to them, to take them in, or whatever. So what you should be doing right now is thinking, what are you going to do when these people that you know come to your door or call you and say, hey, I'm starving, I need something? Are you going to give them 5 pounds of rice and some beans and tell them don't come back? You know they'll come back. Or are you going to just say no? Or are you going to take them in? You've got to prepare now because you're going to have to know what you're going to say to them and how you're going to protect your food, because they're going to think you have a lot of food. Even if you only have 3 months worth of food for your family, they're going to think it's a lot and you should be able to give it to them. So what do we have coming? Well, there's all kinds of things, we should be prepping for. EMP attacks, World War III, nuclear war, supply chain problems, pandemics, all kinds of different things. But I think we're going to go through with different videos on what we should be doing for each of these things. But right now, what I'd like to do is talk about hyperinflation and the central bank's digital currency, because I think those might be coming sooner rather than later. Now, when I say sooner, I don't mean tomorrow or next week. It could come in a couple months or it could come in a couple years, but we're getting closer to it. We're getting closer to hyperinflation. We've had a few bank runs, so we still have problems with the banks. And you know what could happen? Suppose the Federal Reserve says, in order to stop bank runs, we're going to impose the digital currency and your money's going to be safe. And all these people who were at this party the other night are going to say, see, the federal government has helped us. But that's going to be before they're cracked down upon and told they can't buy this and they can't buy that. So I want to go through a couple of things that I don't think they're going to allow you to buy once we have the digital currency, or if we have hyperinflation, you won't be able to afford to buy it. And maybe you can go out and get them now or prepare. And of course, energy is going to skyrocket if we have hyperinflation. We've got Saudi Arabia who already cut back on the oil production. So you know the price of oil is going to go up. And you know if there's a digital currency, they can stop you from buying gasoline so easily. Or you're only allowed 10 gallons of gasoline a week. And after that, they just cut you off. So you're going to have to worry about that. However, if gas is so expensive, you probably won't have to worry about it because you won't be able to afford it. But one thing that I think they're going to try to stop you from buying would be wood. They don't want you to have a wood-burning stove or a fireplace. They're really trying in some parts of the country to crack down on wood-burning stoves. So if they could stop you from buying wood, they would do it. So what you should do is make sure that you have the chainsaw, and I will get a chainsaw that's battery operated. Make sure you have saws. Make sure you have everything you need and a place to go to get your own wood. When you get the digital currency, all of these things aren't going to happen at once. They're going to roll them in slowly. But you can be sure at some point they're going to stop you from buying wood. I just know that. The other thing they're going to regulate would be electricity. You're only allowed so much electricity, so they can regulate that by making sure that you don't have the money to pay your electric bill. And that's going to be a big thing, electricity. Ammo. They're going to really stop you from buying ammo. If they can't take guns away from you, they're going to take ammo away from you. So what you should be doing now then is get the things that you need. Get reloading supplies. Get the ammo if you need it. The other thing that I would really think they're going to try to stop you from buying, of course, is meat. They don't want you to have meat. They're trying to get you to eat the crickets and the bugs and the mealworms and the plant foods. So you might want to stock up on some canned meats. If the digital currency goes in, that's probably not going to be the first thing they stop you from buying. So you might be able to stock up on your freezer. And they're trying to eliminate, of course, chickens, so they wouldn't let you buy chickens, but maybe you can't go to your ag waste store and buy chicken food. So think about that. Maybe you should go and get a book from the library on what you can feed your chickens if you can't buy the chicken food. Something like that. And you know they're going to stop you from buying gold. They're going to stop you from buying silver. They're going to stop you from buying bitcoins. They're going to stop you from buying a gas car. Of course, if gas is so high, you won't be able to. And I would bet at some point they would stop you from buying vitamins and herbs because they want you in that medical establishment because then they can control you. You're dependent on them. So that's another thing. Now, medicine, we might not be able to get medicine because of if China decides to cut us off for some reason. Almost all our medicine is made over there. One thing you can buy online now are antibiotics. And I believe it's Jase, J-A-S-E Medical. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't have a link down below to them. But that's one. And there is another one. I'll have to look it up. And if I find it, I'll put it in the comments section. But Jase Medical, you can buy antibiotics. The other thing you might do, maybe you can go to your doctor and say, how can I cut back on this medication I'm taking? Can I take it every other day? What can I do? And get your doctor's input. And then if you could cut back on it, you could keep the higher prescription and save some of that for when we don't have any medicine because of China or whatever. So just think about that. Maybe you could look up and see what vitamins and herbs you could use to maybe not replace the medicine, but to boost its effects or to help you out. So check that out. Do you know what else I think they will ban when we have the digital currency? Survival food. They don't want you to have food, so they're going to ban freeze-dried food, dehydrated food. You know they're going to try to do something like that if they can. And when I say ban, all they have to do is stop you from being able to buy that by saying, nope, you can't buy that. You can't order online. You can't go and get this. Once it shows up in your receipt, they just say no. So what you're going to have to do is get all of this stuff now. Or if a digital currency does come through, right in the beginning, you probably can think, what are they going to try to stop me from buying? And you can get it right in the beginning before they put all of this into effect. So learn how to do your own stuff. I think you need to learn how to do everything on your own. Grow food. That's another thing. You're going to have to be able to get seeds and fertilizer. You know, how far will they go? I don't know. Will they stop you from buying seeds and fertilizer? I hope not. But the way things are going, they want total control of us. They want you in that 15-minute city. So they're going to do what they can. And I just had one other little thing to note. I was listening to a podcast, and the person said, because President Trump was indicted, had the 34 counts of indictment, and most of them are bogus, and they're all about the same, and they're all misdemeanors, people are going to say, hey, we're going to vote for him because because we know these 34 counts are just bogus. But that's not true. Based on that party I went to, no one there knows anything that alternative media is talking about. They only know what the mainstream media tells them. And the mainstream media is telling them these are felony counts. This is very bad for the president. So I don't know if it is, I don't know if it isn't, but I'm just saying these people are so far gone. I don't know how we're going to reach out to them and help them. Maybe we can help one of them and they will find out and believe us. But most of them are just not going to believe you or me or what they see unless mainstream media tells them that. So right now, just based on maybe hyperinflation and based on a digital currency, I would go through that list I just made and make your own list and start getting some of this stuff. Maybe if the electric bills go so high, you're going to need a solar generator. So maybe start saving up for that solar generator so that you can charge your battery for the chainsaw, things like that. Think about all of this. Think about, could it happen? If you don't think it's going to happen, that's fine. But if you think it could happen, what could you do now to prepare for it? And I do think we're going to have a digital currency at some point. And the majority of people are going to believe that it's a godsend, that it's great, that the government wouldn't do anything to hurt us. So are we ever going to convince them otherwise? No, not until they find out that they can't buy that gas-powered car or they can't buy wood or whatever it happens to be. So think about all of this. If you have other things in the comments below, let us know what you think they might try to stop us from buying when they have a digital currency. Let us know if you even think we're going to get a digital currency. And thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.